That's what he did, and I'm glad that he was able is able now to reach a moment where he was like, you know what, I apologize. This is a time for me to grow up and mature as a person, as Patrick Clark. And just like any other wrestler, man, he'll be back. This is, you're innocent until proven guilty. There's no allegations when it comes to this situation. The only thing that he was guilty for, was the Florida arrest, that the gym stuff, and then violating stuff, and that legal stuff. He was definitely guilty for, and he served 18 days in jail. So he did it, and I definitely think that we'll see Patrick Clark again in the ring. I hope that it's NXT because the Velvet, he's talking about the Velveteen's dream is buried and he's dead. It's easy for anyone to say that initially, and I understand why he wants the Velveteen's dream to be dead, because he was explaining who the Velveteen's dream was, and how cocky and arrogant he is, and how he doesn't want to be that person anymore. And I can respect that. But at the same time, it's like, look, this is a character, perhaps you're mature enough, and it's still a work in process. Maybe you spend the next, I would definitely, absolutely, 100% heavily suggest and recommend him go to therapy if he's not already. Like a weekly basis, go to therapy. Continue to get yourself together, man. We're going to be all right. I can tell that you got an inner church boy in you from that interview that's just ready to come out and just share the love of Christ in the world. So there's definitely some rough edges that definitely needs to continue to grow in you, but I definitely see that inner light continuing to get brighter and brighter in his life. So kudos to him and his growth. To Patrick Clark. All right, y'all. Let's get into these questions with, ladies and gentlemen.
With Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo.
Come on, John Cena interview on Logo.
You forget your wallet.
Fargo, send Cash $145 to his
Do you, Fargo? You can with Wells Fargo.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Are you sick of PG&E's bull? Rate hikes, high bills, blackouts? Yeah, us too. What if I told you I love the Fast and Furious family, but boy, I really lost? How are you fooling my man? Yeah, how worship John Cena, WWE.
Meow.
No, it's very good. They offered it for free.
Your Instagram, John. These images will be posted without explanation or your interpretation. Can I ask you about this traffic jam?
I'm stuck in traffic.
You saw the rock. Do you think he had that line written on his wrist?
One thing I know about Dwayne, he never makes the same mistake twice.
You're so genuine. Everyone says that.
One meeting. One meeting. John Cena.
Have you seen me on my phone? I want you to know I'm not texting. I'm looking at the plethora of notes that I have. Encyclopedia. Confession.
We spent hours together today.
I don't need it.
Just talk to two people.
I know.
Do those two people.
I know. But now it's my show.
Yes, you should know. Use your phone. I mean, we're good. Let me just hydrate first.
Let's go.
First time try.
Oh, wow. You can be part of the case now.
Swallowed it up.
Yo, let's go. That's what she said. Welcome to Boston, the #1 podcast in the world. Thank you guys for listening, watching, doing, subscribing.
We have an absolute legend in the house.
Lady singing.
That's what she said. Hold on.
Here, you have to shake his hand if you can actually see him, or subscribe to the channel. So subscribe if you want to see, ladies and gentlemen.
I learned about all that vernacular. Subscribe. Hit the likes, comments, notifications.
Stop learning about that vernacular.
Yeah. Thank you.
That was you. I mean, you gave me a wealth of knowledge.
I do the outros.
I got about 30% of that, but that's okay.
I can teach you, John, just like you can teach me, because you are one of the greatest wrestlers to have ever done it. I do want to clap for you, ladies and gentlemen. We have John Cena.
Travel.
It's an honor.
We're all clapping. We're always clapping.
It's an understatement. We've wanted you on for so long, and to get to spend time with you, just the 5-10 minute interactions that we've had prior to today was an honor. To get to sit down with you for 2 hours in your car, we just did his show called What Drives You, where we just talked about the deepest things.
You are just a you always plug, dude. Thank you so much for that. That conversation was very special. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I feel the same thing your way. Nothing is off limits. We'll do the best to get you the best show.
Oh, I'm glad you said that, Joe. I got pretty vulnerable on that show, and I told you this while we were shooting, but ironically, every interaction I've had with you make me feel the most seen. John Cena makes me feel the most seen I've ever felt. Man, when you look at people and you shake their hand, you care, and you're so genuine. Everyone says that.
One meeting. John Cena! Sorry, someone has to be somewhere. That's probably the most important alarm. Like, I gotta take my medicine. Probably. Sorry.
But yet, all your successes inside and outside of the WWE, traversing, I'm going to use this good podcast. You are still somehow so genuine and so kind. So thank you for all the time you've given me and the energy you've given me and joining us in this show.
I appreciate the invite to be here in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Man, this is paradise here. Thank you for welcoming me into your home, and I really appreciate it.
Of course, man. We could take this so many directions, but I think the most appropriate way to start, honestly, is your Instagram, John. You are one of the most famous people on the planet, and your Instagram is one of the most perplexing places that I've ever seen. What do you mean? When I go to John Cena on Instagram, I need answers. I wasn't sure if I was on the right account.
Look at today.
It had 20 million.
No, look at today.
Oh my God. Now that one makes sense.
Okay.
But what were you feeling on this post, though? On this Dave Chappelle rendition of Prince, though?
What does the Bible say?
I'll read it. Welcome to my Instagram. These images will be posted without explanation for your interpretation. Enjoy.
So, enjoy.
No. We want you to interpret with this photo of Benjamin Franklin that you posted there. What did you mean when you posted that, John?
So, I never want to take away anyone's interpretation of the image. Why did I post that? Because I just read Poor Charlie's Almanac, which is a Charlie Munger piece who admires and referenced a biography by Ben Franklin. And it references a lot to do with Ben Franklin. And Ben Franklin found compounding interests to be extremely interesting. So much so that he took an experiment and put a certain amount in a fund and had it mature for a certain amount of time, and was able to fund a bunch of philanthropic projects just on compound interest alone. I don't think that enough people learn how to use money right. I don't know why we don't teach it in schools. And I got guidance on how to use money from Ben Franklin via Charlie Munger, so I posted Ben Franklin.
Can I ask you about this traffic jam?
Yeah, sure. I was stuck in traffic.
These are all things. That one. I like that.
But I hate doing this because I want people to be able to take away what they want.
Just like any other artist. They want the audience.
So originally, I am not from the age of attach yourself to every platform. It was very tough for me to come up to speed. I contribute to Facebook, I contribute to Twitter, and then the WWE at the time when Instagram launched, it was like, you have to have an Instagram. So all right, if I have to have it, I'm doing it my way. And the very first post is a post of a writer who was working with me at the time, Ryan Ward. It's a close-up of his mustache. And I didn't put anything, no tags, no nothing. I said I'd never post a picture of my face, and I would never add any text. And I would just see if this could work. And it has become like art. And I think there's not enough vehicle for interpretation nowadays. Everything is presented and thoroughly explained. I want people to think. Everything is presented and thoroughly explained. I want people to think for themselves, and I've dropped some serious clues and spoilers on there, and like real inside baseball stuff. But if you're not looking for it, you don't know, and I don't care if you know, because that's not the point. The point is if you come to there as a fan, you can check out the images, you can get a look into my life, or maybe you can get a look in your own life. Maybe you see something in that traffic jam that I don't. Maybe you see something that Ben Franklin picture I don't.
Stone Cold Show.
And then there's Stone Cold Friday.
It is a beautiful rendition of a way to use social media. It's actually amazing.
That, like I said, at least I appreciate it.
It's cool. I'm not going to do this all day. Just one more. What did you mean when you posted this bear with 687,000 likes? What is this chubby little bear?
I had just visited my family in Vancouver, and I spent 10 days being fed Persian food, and that's how I felt.
The best, Travis.
And it's in the snow, and that's kind of how I felt.
Can we make this all good? Can we get serious for a second on the social media thing for just one
We
minute?
weren't serious. We didn't do that. I thought it was very serious. I was giving you my thoughts, which is very rare.
Okay. Leaving the artistic interpretation out of it, do you see any other innate downsides to social media that you don't like? Is there anything you steer clear of, any platforms you don't like? Is there anything you just don't like about social media?
Listen, man, there's things about life I don't like. So I'll stay away from that stuff. The reason I curate my Instagram the way I do is because I want to really be efficient with my time on that screen. And the reason I curate my Twitter the way I do, the reason we have the experience of TikTok that we do, is because I want to be able to, first, what's most important to me, getting something out there for the people who actually pay attention to what I do. I have no idea why, but understanding that that's important and making it important. But also setting boundaries for myself. I believe boundaries are very important in life. And this is a way for me to operate in all tentacles where my entire day isn't structured around that device. And that's something that I am consciously aware of. So I don't want to say I don't want to do that. I want to be a part of all these things.
Who do you think taps out first?
What the hell's happening?
All
right, you about ready to get out? Yes. Hospital for $1,000. So this stuff?
All right, Jim. Well, on that topic, why don't we talk a little bit about some recent retro action figures, retro wrestling action figures. I have a whole bunch of new ones here. The Last Manor in the office.
These are getting to be quite popular. You know, they couldn't make a retro Cornette figure because everybody agrees that my appearance has not changed in 40 years. They can dust my hair a little bit with gray.
You are the retro Cornette.
I'm the retro figure, baby.
Well, the first ones we have here, I have a couple of new figures from the Pastel Toy Gimmicks and Grapplers line. This one here is one I was particularly excited about. I just put a picture of it on Instagram. It is the new Greg Girard figure, a.k.a. the artist formerly known as Oscar from Men on a Mission.
I didn't know that was his name.
Greg Girard, I guess. G-A-R-A-R-D.
Well, it could. There should be like a phonetic signal or pronunciation guide on the. You know, that's a sign that maybe you're going really deep in the well on the action figures when you have to have a pronunciation guide for the fucking guy's name that you're selling the figure.
Well, you see, the thing is, and again, Pastel Toy they recently put out, I think it's sold out. Again, I can't call them Men on a Mission, the Nelson Frazier Jr. and Bobby Horn action figures, fellas with a purpose. You have those, you need an Oscar, you can't call an Oscar. So it's Greg Girard. What do you think his finishing maneuver is?
Well, he was a manager and a rapper. He never wrestled. He didn't have one.
And it comes with an accessory, if that's a clue.
Oh, boy. The mic drop.
Son of a bitch. His finishing move.
No, that's not.
It's the mic drop, and he comes with a little microphone. That's the first time on the first one you got it. Wow. Do I have this?
I was thinking what could possibly be even stupider than the last round that we talked about.
rowdy bunch of applause there. This doesn't stop.
Yes, it's a very small crowd. So the mic drop was Greg Gerard's, formerly Oscar, is finished. He never rested.
Do you agree that if you're going to make a Mo and Mabel, although under different names, action figure set, you kind of need him?
Well, yeah. See, that's the unwieldy thing of not owning your own name and or intellectual property or whatever. When you try to capitalize on fame that you had at one point, if you can't use the name, it's because a lot of people they might remember, they're Oscar, Men on a Mission, but Greg Gerard, and he's got a microphone. We don't know what the fuck. I feel bad for Oscar. I can still call him Oscar.
Well, you can call whatever you want. You're not going to get sued over it.
I can call him Ray, or I can call him Jay, or I can call him Raymond, or I can call him Raymond J, but I don't got to call him Oscar.
Well, speaking of people who don't have their names, I have the next figure here from Hastel Toy. This is the new Mike Drosy action figure. Ooh. You can't call him Duke, so it's just Mike Drosy. It comes with a garbage pail. And, what do you think his finishing maneuver is?
Well, now, wait a minute.
Duke the Dumpster Drosy.
The slop drop was the Godwins.
That's right.
I'm trying to think, didn't he have some kind of garbage-related finish that he did anyway? But, and boy, again, what a rib. The guy gets on national television and forever the most famous gimmick he'll have is that, when he gets an action figure, it comes with its own garbage can. That's a disheartening type of thing. I can't remember what his finish was.
The finish here is the Trash Bash.
No, was it the trash compactor? No, that was Trailer Park Trash that used the trash compactor. It was the leg drop off the top there.
So we're talking about this era of WWE, and now a lot of these wrestlers are being revisited for people who, it's really for people my age who had the Hasbros, WWE Hasbro figures when they were kids. They're trying to, everyone that wasn't made from that era, they're trying to get in there, and some other people.
And there was a reason why some of these people weren't made. And I like Duke Grossi. He was a very nice guy. And I wish he would have had chances as someone else somewhere else. But the gimmick was not cosmetically pleasing.
If someone approaches Tony Anthony about a T.L. Hopper figure, should he insist on also having a dirty white boy variant?
Boy,
should it be an insistence?
I think it should be the dirty white boy figure, and the T.L. Hopper should be the variant coming with its own fucking toilet plunger for anybody to unstop their fucking brain if they think anybody wants a fucking action figure of T.L. Hopper.
So you say there's a chance?
Just a chance.
All right, Jim, well, on the topic of these Hasbro-style retro figures, the company Figure Collections has a line of figures called Wrestle Something. And they have put out something, and the question really becomes, should you be getting a royalty on this?
What?
It is Mosh and Thrasher, the Headbangers.
Oh!
And they come here, they're wearing skirts, and they have their T-shirts, and it's a very good job they did of getting their face on here. It looks like them. It looks like Glenn Ruth and...
But now, what names are they using there?
On the packaging itself, Mosh and Thrasher.
Because they were there before the WWE, or they weren't there before. That doesn't make any sense. They were them. Instead of they were there, they were them before the WWE, because I gave them the gimmick and smoked him out.
I have actually a little bit of a description here, and maybe this will answer something. Mosh and Thrasher have their first action figures in over 20 years. Wrestle Something Wrestler Series 1 by FC Toys. Can you believe the Headbangers have been without action figures since the late 90s? These figures have been in the works since 2021, when FC helped Chaz and Glenn get the trademarks to the Headbangers Mosh and Thrasher names. So apparently they just didn't have it. And WWE didn't have it.
Well, you know what? I bet that WWE didn't renew, if they did at one point trademark it, because I signed papers signing the rights, or any rights, or the intellectual property or the gimmick over to the WWE so that they could employ those guys under those names.
So I can play the guy under those names.
Fee-free overdrafts. No monthly fee. Chime, the #1 most loved banking app.
The Los Angeles just breaking. If you even want to play this game, you gotta
to the right to do exactly what he does best, and that is lay it the smacker down. You are the #1 man on Hollywood's hit list.
So after that, we had a nice graphic and a little spot for Pat Patterson's birthday. Happy birthday, Pat. We miss you. It's nice to see that somebody noticed that. And coming up on Royal Rumble season. And then we get a pre-tape, spooky lit, dark, treated video. What do you call that shit? Kind of weird video. Wild and woolly video of the Final Testament. Karrion Kross, Scarlett, Paul Ellering, and the AOP. Which I'm beginning to think the AARP may be a little more intimidating, but what are they doing with the video? They're just random shit pops into the video. There was a shot of a guy in a hazmat suit. Is that because this gimmick stinks, or what's going on here with this? You're the modern day music mogul video genius over there.
What the hell does that have to do with hazmat suits?
Well, that's what I'm asking. Why was the hazmat suit in this video?
It was a way to reach out to our fan base to reference toxicity.
That's not backward!
Hazardous waste.
Well, that's a hazardous waste. That's what this gimmick is. They should put it in a lead-lined box and drop it in the ocean.
That's a better name than AOP for the tag team.
What?
Hazardous waste.
Hazardous waste. Well, why are they trying to make Karrion Kross out to be Aleister Crowley now? He's always been spooky, but now he's spooky with friends. He says this prepared, scripted shit that nobody understands. It sounds cool if it's a trailer for an independent horror flick. And otherwise, what are any of these people going to do, and why do we care? And what the fuck? The Final Testament.
It would work better if it was like Ellering showed up and he put everyone in Zubaz.
And then the Zubaz.
We'll miss it.
And they obviously can't go heavy on any kind of religious angle, because that would offend somebody. So what are these people doing, and why, again, do I ask? Even they obviously can't go heavy on any kind of religious angle, because that would offend somebody. So what are these people doing, and why, again, do I ask? Rhetorically this time, should we care?
I don't yet.
No, I think we need to ring the bell on Karrion Kross, right? At this point, what the fuck? He should have never grown that hair back.
I told you to fucking haircut! I told you!
Hello again, friends! And you are our friends, and welcome back to another edition of Jim.
At the top of the hour, where it's network television, they want to snag the viewers. We got the next big talking segment. The history package between Kevin Owens and Logan Paul. And Logan Paul complaining about the cast and his black eye, and he won't fight Owens if he's wearing the cast at the Royal Rumble. And then we come right in at 9 o'clock into the KO show, and he brings Logan Paul out. And again, in the first hour, the only good thing was the first 20 minutes of talking, and the second hour starts. And it stars. It's people we know who the f*** they are, and they're going to talk to us, and we got to listen. And Logan Paul's story now is that Kevin Owens is the reason why that Logan Paul became a WWE superstar, because they showed the VTR of Owens giving Logan Paul the stunner at WrestleMania 2021 when he was just, I guess, the guest celebrity, right? And he embarrassed Logan Paul at his first WrestleMania, and so he has given him the determination. That's why he trained and he's done this, and he's a U.S. champion or whatever the fuck. And Again, Logan Paul is a natural at this. He's milking and pausing in the right places. And he's better than, half the guys that get in the business at talking and being a prick and getting, just people annoyed in one way or another, don't you think?
Corrupt crypto scams and taking his fans' money. I mean, he's totally that kind of guy. I think so.
But I mean, he could also, at the same time, he could be a shit talker.
He gets it in a way that, like, I'm not to compare him to The Rock, but when The Rock hit, Rock had timing and he knew when to pause and how to read the room.
Yeah.
Not a lot of guys get that. There's no nervousness with Logan Paul.
Got you at left control.
He doesn't show it. He just seems like a natural at it.
Yeah, and part of that because he's really full of his own shit. And that's easier to be not nervous when you're convinced that you're, something special.
WTW.
Special.
That means wire.
Whereas Owens in the whole game says that he barely remembers.
Oh, ain't she like me?
Stuttering Logan Paul because he just was a celebrity that came in, blah, blah, blah. And he put Logan Paul over at what he's accomplished. But you're not me, you're not Sammy, you're not all of his other friends. But then they started going back and forth, because I was kind of tolerating this at this point. And then Logan Paul uncorked a promo about himself, putting himself over, that the Dream Machine would have been proud of. Did you hear that string? I couldn't write it fast enough, and I can't quote it. But he put himself over with a line of jive, as Barbara Billingsley would say, in airport, or airplane, rather. Airplane, I'm sorry. Yes, and then he got the fans chanting Logan sucks, and then Owens fired right back at him, because Owens is a goddamn promo. There's a lot about you, Logan Paul, I can't talk about, because you've been protected. You were given all the tools, and yeah, you're a U.S. champion, but I think it's a joke, and I'm putting it into it. And then they argue about the cast, and Owens says, you can't knock me out. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to have this cast at Royal Rumble. I'm going to take it off right now. And he takes it off and tosses it down, and he turns back around. Boom, Logan Paul punches him right in the fucking mush, turns around, and of course, as you do every time you hit some guy one time, you immediately turn your back on him. And exults in the crowd, and Kevin Owens gets back up to his feet. And Logan Paul turns around and shits himself, and Owens tackles him, and they go to the floor, but it ends up that Logan Paul rams Owens' bad hand into the fucking ring post or stairs or whatever it was, and Owens is selling his hand, and Logan Paul's taunting him. And again, no, Logan Paul was great. This was good for Owens. They added like 12 minutes, but it's selling tickets. It's better than any of the fucking matches. I don't know what that says about their matches, but
it makes you want to see the matches. It makes you want to see these two have a match.
Yeah, but actually when I see this match, I probably won't like it as much as this promo. Because it's going to be another WWE match, but I want to see it. But again, Logan Paul's not experienced at this, even if he's done media and done his own YouTube and talking. He's a natural because he picks it up and with.
So where's the other spoon at? This spoon. Sing a boom is live. Hold up. Right back.